In my DMP2, I talked about the concept of strength and how it is related to our path in life and ultimately our destiny. Originally, I had stated that strength is built in various different situations, but questioned whether or not it was enough to decide our path in life. Now I believe that the strength obtained can help us transform into the individuals we are today. This idea of strength and transformation is related to the story of King Arthur. Gawain was forced to find the strength within to overcome the challenge of deciding if Ragnell should be beautiful or ugly during times in the day. And it is possible to question whether the strength is enough to determine his destiny. However, Gawain transformed into a new person when he told Ragnell that she should decide what she wanted in life, which eventually broke the curse bestowed upon her. By overcoming the conflict at hand, Gawain went from someone who was only adored on the outside to someone who was adored and loyal on the inside and out. But Gawain had to decide whether or not he was going to think of his own self or the future of Ragnell, and he had to evaluate the situation in order to come up with a final answer. This can relate to my experience in picking a university to attend. I sent out 11 applications, and after receiving my acceptance letters, I was constantly receiving advertisements explaining why their school was better than all the rest. I was able to bring it down to 3 schools: Maryland, Wisconsin, and Binghamton, and I had to reevaluate all the information I received to see, and went on the journey of visiting campuses to decide where I could see myself. I came to the decision of attending Maryland, not just for the beauty aspect, but also for the ability to challenge myself and make an advancement in the future. Similarly, the story connects to the adventures of Tatterhood. After Tatterhood was born, it was evident that she was a troublesome daughter in comparison to her perfect sister. But Tatterhood nevertheless found the strength within her to embark on an adventure with her sister to find her head after the witch cut it off and even found a prince to marry. Her transformation occurred when walking down the aisle with the prince. Through the prince's eyes, he was able to see her transform into someone who had courage and power, not just someone with a spoon and a tattered hood. This transformation can relate to Steve Jobs, the creator of Apple. Jobs had a difficult life, being set up for adoption shortly after he was born, and then later discovering he had a rare form of pancreatic cancer during his adult life. In order to overcome these obstacles, Jobs built up the strength to ensure that he would continue to achieve in life and not let this conflict stop him. He transformed into an innovative adult with the help of his coworker and his intellectual abilities. Jobs became one of the most well-known and successful individuals and made a loud statement in the world of technology. These stories can compare to the story of the hunter and the horse. After opening the box, the hunter was told from his guide, the horse, that he was going to feel a moment of fear. The hunter went through multiple obstacles for the king before he was able to experience this emotion, and then was told to find the beloved. After bringing her to the king, the beloved ordered the king to force the prince into a boiling cauldron before she could marry him. In this moment, the hunter had to obtain the strength in order to overcome this fear, and took guidance from the horse. Instead of standing behind afraid, the hunter used his strength, sprung free from the guards, and jumped into the cauldron himself. From this challenge and the strength obtained, he transformed into a powerful hunter and one that was worthy enough for the beloved. The story of the hunter can relate to my life. Over the summer, I had to find the strength within to decide what was more important in my life: an unforgettable family experience or an advancement to my future career. My father was pushing Israel, while my mother was reminding me of my resume and my accomplishments. I had to reevaluate the outcomes and benefits and decide which set of responsibilities was more important. Was it wrong if I spent a trip of adventure instead of taking into account my future? Was it even right to think of my future instead of the happiness of my family? After a long conversation and guidance from my parents, I used my strength, looked fear in the face, and applied for an internship, still thinking about the possibilities of a trip to Israel. I ended up being granted a spot at a local law firm and accepted the decision I made. After gaining a familiarity in my future career field, I transformed into an adult with reassurance that this is what I wanted to pursue in life. However, I realized that I also need to find my own strength once again and decide which field of law is right for me, creating another situation where I need to find my inner strength to bring myself one step closer to my destiny.